Yeah, I think there's been a real sea change in sentiment in the markets. What is interesting to me is that we've seen that both on the occupier side and on the investment side. If you look at the investment side, perhaps most notably, in my business, we have been seeing investors over the past few years, so say 3 years ago, if you mentioned Greece, they laughed at you and changed the subject. 2 years ago, they would ask you about Greece. A year ago, they wanted to know are there opportunities there, and now they're in the market. We've had a huge number of private equity investors and hedge fund investors coming through our doors saying, where are the opportunities, what's going on in those markets? I think, interestingly, there's the change in also the occupier sentiment, and that is clearly fundamentally linked to a change in where the economy's at in those markets. And I'm not sure it's really very evident in the statistics yet, but clearly the cycle, the virtuous cycle of demand feeding activity, feeding demand, feeding activity has started in those markets. So we've seen in the portfolios we're involved in managing quite a lot of inquiry about property and space and so on, and we're starting to see vacancy levels in segments decline, and I think that marks a real shift in the markets we're in. And I'm talking there particularly actually in sort of Greece and Cyprus. I think the Italian, Spanish, Portuguese markets perhaps a little different.